All right, everybody, here we are again. Whoa, look at this sucker. Man, this might give me crippling diarrhea. I don't know. What do we got here? Ryan Geist Brewing Company Glow Fruited Sour Ale with natural flavors, 4.5% alcohol. I've had a few of their beers. I've had a few of them, you know. Some of them good, some of them bad. But today, let me smell it and try this out. I don't really like sour beers, but some of them are okay. They don't smell sour. No, I don't like this at all. Oh, no. Anyways, today, I wrote down some things that happened here at our house since we moved in. And just some weird things that I don't know how to explain them. You know, some people say, oh, well, you know, you're doing upgrades in somebody's house that they passed away in. They might not like it or whatever, but we're making it better because they were so old they couldn't really do anything. They had to have help from the lady down the street and the neighbors and stuff. And well, anyways, when we first moved in, it was probably a couple months later that my wife was in the kitchen, and she heard our dog that passed away a couple years ago shaking. Because you know that shake when your dog, you know, shakes, you know, and she heard that noise, and she's looking in the living room, you know, it's like, Spot, you expected Spot to come walking through the hallway, the door there, and that was one of the things. I always heard noises in the kitchen. If I'm on the computer in the kitchen, I will hear noises at the basement, like someone's coming up the steps. Like someone's walking up them steps, and I don't know what it is. It's just, everybody's in bed. You know, I heard the noises. It's just really weird. I did put a trail camera down in the basement on the washer. Now, it did pick up something. So it has a trigger, like if you walk in front of it, a half a second after it picks up motion, boom, it'll start recording. And I have it set recording for 30 seconds or something. And it didn't pick anything up walking in front of it this way. If it was me, I would have had to walk in front of it and then it would start recording, but it didn't. It started recording from the other side. Like something's always been there, all of a sudden it starts recording, and it was right up against it. So, I mean, it was like literally a foot and a half away from it, and it was recording, and the infrared lights it just whited out. It was so close, and you could tell it was somebody standing right up against it. Not right up against it, but it was somebody. Now, it could have been me. I don't remember standing in front of it, and it stood there for until it stopped recording, and then no more video of it. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I'll pass that off as me. Maybe I got in front of it. I don't know. I don't remember. So, all right. There's noises in the living room or in the kitchen from the living room. The same thing, like someone's in the living room or in the kitchen doing something at the steps or something. I come down in the morning. I come down the basement steps, and I turn the corner, and I smelled perfume. Now my wife wasn't up, my son wasn't up. I smelled perfume at the bottom of the steps, and I walked through, and I stopped, and I come back a little bit, and it was starting to fade. It started to fade out, and I don't know where it came from. I don't wear perfume, and it was distinctly perfume. It wasn't a cologne, it was a perfume. Cologne was more of a guy thing. I don't know. I think I've noticed a difference. Anyways, I gotta remember to do this one first. I was laying in bed, and I was laying on my back, and the doorway was here, and I felt something push the blankets. I was wide awake. I woke up for something. I was just sitting there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep. And I'm sitting there trying to go back to sleep, and I felt something push the blankets up against my hip, like someone pushed their hand up against it. And I didn't open my eyes. I was just sitting there like, okay, what is that? Thinking in my head, Spot? Was that you putting your paws so you tell me to move over? You want to jump up? I don't know. I didn't open my eyes because I don't know what it was. And it did happen again. I was in the basement and I was sitting in this chair and I was doing something and I felt something touch my side. Like something, I didn't move toward, I was sitting there doing something menial and it like something touched me. Like I felt my clothes push in. It was weird. All right, there's another one. I had, when I first got this security system for the house, I put up cameras. I got 6 cameras constantly. And if it tracks people like movement or a person or anything, it'll start recording and it goes into a cloud and it notifies me, hey, you got this movement here. You can pick up your phone and you can get your notification. You can see and everything. Well, I had it up in the attic, and the attic is above the living room. And I had it all up there, the monitor, the recorder, the DVR and everything up there with a mouse. It had a little mouse that was connected to it. It was an old mouse that I had. And I'm up there setting it up and I'm moving it back and forth, and you can hear it move across the boards and it makes that sound, So I'm setting it all up and everything like that, moving it back and forth, and the next day, for 2 days in a row, I was in the living room watching TV in the morning before we left for work, and I kept hearing sliding across the floor, and I was looking at the ceiling, and I was like, that's that mouse moving around up there. Nothing was changed, but it was like moving back and forth. 2 days in a row, I kept hearing that sound. And until what did I do? It didn't happen anymore, and I ended up relocating it, and then I only had 2 cameras up. And then I relocated it up, then I put 4 more up. So I got them all over the damn place, recording everything. So anyways, because I seen my garage door, when we first moved in, looked like it was pushed in, like somebody might have bumped it, and then I bent it all back into shape. I pop riveted it and everything like that, and I changed the lock on it, and I seen it. I got home from work again, and it was pushed in again. So somebody was seeing the doorknob, and there was a guy walking around like 2 days before that, walking around, and George, my neighbor, caught him and talking to him because he says he's seen him walking up and down people's drives, and he came down my drive. And I remember seeing him. He didn't come up to the front door. He came down the drive going to the back door. And that's when I was running out to the back door. And that's when my neighbor George got him and took him out, talking to him up front. Because my son said he came back. And he was going to get confronted right there. And then like 2 days later, I see that pushed in. So someone was using their car, pushing it in, trying to release the locks so they can get inside the garage and steal whatever they can steal. But I fixed that, and I got a railroad rail in front of it, and I put up the cameras aimed at both ways. You can't get in here without it getting your face and everything, what records you. But anyways, that's the reason I bought that security system. And the last one I got, this one just happened 2 days ago. Oh wait, Monday? 3 days ago. We had a dog. We were dog sitting for the Outlaws, and because they were having some surgery done, and they didn't want anybody else to watch them, so okay, bring them all over here for a week. Well, I thought it was for a week. It was for a week. Yeah, it was for a week. So he brought them over, and that day they says, okay, you can bring them back. So my wife brought them back, and they're sitting in the living room in the afternoon, and no dog was here or anything. And my son, I was down here. My son looked at my wife and he says, are you watching dogs on your phone? And she said, no. And he specifically heard a dog panting, like it was Spot. He knows Spot's panting. And he says, that sounded like her panting. She was probably happy to get that dog the heck out of here. That's probably what the thing was. So, that it's weird. Yeah, it was her, panting. He says that sounded like Spot panting. So she was you know, he heard it loud, and that was pretty funny. So there you go. Some weird stuff that happened here that I can't explain. This is awful. No flavor, not even really sour. I would probably give this on a scale of 1 to 5, probably a 2.1. There you go. Just because it's something to drink, it's drinkable, but no, it would get a D-. That's what this thing is going to get. No, I'm not even drinking the rest of it. So there you go. I'm all done. I'll see you in the next one. Now hold on, I forgot one thing. Over here in the side here, I have bottles that it's on a little stand. It's about, you know, this wide. Well, they've been sitting there, and what I do is I cut the tops off of them and I put them up around the ledge that goes around the whole basement. Well, one morning, it was real early in the morning, 1 o'clock or something like that, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I hear a bottle fall or something down here. I was like, what the heck was that? So I get up, I come to the back door, I turn the lights on down here, I look around, and there was a bottle busted on the floor. I was like, all right. So I left it. So I come down the next day and I wanted to clean it up, and the table had dust rings where that bottle was. It was this far from the either edge, and it was on the end. So something had to knock that bottle off. Nobody was down here. Something knocked it off and dropped it on the floor. It was I think it was a Miller Lite bottle. So there you go. That's the last thing that I can remember. That was really uncanny. So I was like, don't be breaking any more bottles, man. All right. Now, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.